Hey guys, happy Tuesday. So we are continuing on with lesson 27. This time we are doing session 2. So today we're going to be focusing more on reading and making line plots. So we're going to use that data, we're going to plot them on a line, we're going to have to decide which number to start on, which number to end on, and how to label those line plots. So it's going to be very important to pay attention today and make sure that we know exactly what to put on that line plot.
All right, so let's look at our problem. It says the lengths of young sea lions at an aquarium are shown below. Show these measurements on a line plot. What strategy can you use to find which length is the most common? So first, remember our very first job is to find our littlest number and our biggest number. That's our first job. Okay, so let's look at those. And I'm looking 52, 49. Oh, 48 looks like my littlest. And then I'm looking, and I think 52 looks like my biggest. And remember, it's okay if your number line goes beyond that, right? We're just making ours, as good as we can. So in between, we need to put 49, 50, and 51. Because we want to make sure we include all the numbers from 48 to 52. Now we can go up and start putting our X's in. So if we do it Mrs. Croft's way.
I was going to try to fix my 52 and make it go over farther, but
it's okay. So let's start with the way Mrs. Croft did it, and let's look at our first measurement. So our first measurement is 52 inches. So can we put one X above 52? Perfect. Then we have one above 49. We have one above 50. Ooh, we have another one above 52. And another one above 52. And then we have one on 48. And another one on 49. So now that we have made our line plot, we can easily ask ourselves questions, right?
We can.
Why does 51 not have any X's?
Which one has, what is the, let's see. How do I want to say? How many are 52 inches long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing though, what are we missing on this line plot?
Oh, we forgot to put our title and what we're measuring in. So we have to make sure, even though we did this first, and it's fine if you do the number line first and then put your title and what you're measuring in, but we have to make sure we add those at the end. So it looks like we're measuring in inches, so that's our length. And then what would our title be? What do you think our title would be? Sea lion?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was going to say, well, if I look at the problem, I'm just going to put the title right here. If I look at the problem, it says the lengths of young sea lions. So could I just put that? Could I put sea lions' measurements?
Mm-hmm.
Or even the lengths of sea lions? Like, could that go there? Or does that have to go at the bottom, I wonder?
Well, I think the length has to go on the bottom. So maybe we have to know what we're talking about. We're not talking about elephants or rhinos or something like that. We're talking about sea lions. So we need to make sure that's in there, which I think is good. And then that word measurement just kind of shows us what we're actually doing. So
True.
I think that title looks good.
So then the last question says, what strategy can you use to find which length is most common? So do we have to answer that question?
We do.
So what strategy can you use to decide which length is most common?
Well, I just looked at it and said, which one has the most X's?
Right. And which one is that?
52 inches.
And we know that because there are 3 X's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like that. Because there are 2 X's there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, let's look at the next problem. we're just picturing it. So we're gonna use some different strategies because our brains all see math differently. And we're gonna compare those strategies. The first one says, think about where the measurements would be on a measuring tape. So here is the line plot that we used. We started at 48, we ended at 52. If we were thinking about a measuring tape, it would look pretty much like the line plot that we made, right? The numbers are evenly spaced, they go in order, they start at the smallest measurement and end at the biggest measurement. So a number line is a lot like a measuring tape, and you can just use your data to choose a section of the number line to make a line plot, right? We didn't start at 0 and end at 100. We started at the smallest measurement and ended at the largest measurement. So we just kind of cut that measuring tape and put it right where we needed it.
Yep. All right, so then a line plot can help you show measurements. So this is exactly what we drew, right? We have our X's above the inches, and then we have our title on there. So that kind of just shows us what we already did. So now let's look at answering some questions using our line plot that we just drew.
Okay. I have a dog over here, friends. He's like, I want to love you. All right, number 1 says, look at the picture it. How is a number line like a measuring tape? Well, what did we say?
That the numbers are evenly spaced, right? That's the big one. The numbers are evenly spaced and in order.
Oh, I forgot something in my sentence.
No.
Capital letters and punctuation. We have to have it. Okay.
Have to have it.
Look at the model it. How do you know what the line plot is about? So if we go back here, how do we know what this line plot is about, Mrs. Walker?
We look right at the title, and our title will show us exactly. So how do we know what the line plot is about? We look at the title.
What do the numbers along the bottom of the line plot stand for?
Ooh,
well, we have to go back.
Back.
Does it tell us?
Mm-hmm.
So what do those numbers stand for?
The numbers stand for the lengths of the sea lions. Mm-hmm. It is probably important to add that in inches versus in centimeters or meters or things like that.
And it tells you that, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look back at the data. How long is the shortest sea lion? Let's look at the line plot. Well, once we organize the data on the line plot, is it so easy to figure out that answer?
So easy.
What is it? It's 48. 48 what?
48 inches?
Yes, 48 inches.
And our longest was our biggest number on our line plot, right? On our number line, which was 52 inches, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. What length of sea lion is the most common?
Oh, and we technically already answered this, right? Which one has the most X's?
52 inches.
Right.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, so now we're going to apply it and we're going to make our own. So it says Sam measures the length of each feather in her collection. She writes the length in a table. Complete the line plot to show the data. So I think because it's already drawn out for us, let's start with the title. Okay. What are we measuring?
Feathers.
We are. So we are measuring feather measurements, right? Or yeah, that sounds good. And then
now,
what
unit?
What are we measuring in? And so we look at our table and it says inches. So we know we can put that right away. Now we got our first part. Now we have to find our littlest number. So look in our table. What is our biggest number in that table? Or our littlest number? Ooh, I think, yep, I agree. So 2. 3, or we could, yep, sorry. What's our biggest number? 4.
Well, if I looked, I noticed our biggest number was 6. So you could put 6 here too, and then just make sure it fills in, right?
Right, because remember we have to have order. We have to have the correct order and even spaces, which you did.
So this
Awesome.
works because they put those blanks for us, so we knew exactly how many numbers. But sometimes you'll have to make your own, and so you have to figure out what the biggest number is and how many go, like what numbers would go between the biggest and the smallest, or the smallest and the biggest. Okay, so now we're gonna organize that data. Let's do it Mrs. Walker's way this time, because I like to challenge my brain. So I'm gonna look at the number 2, okay? I'm gonna start here on the number 2, and I'm gonna go back into my chart and see how many 2s there are. 3, 4, ooh, there's 1.
And there's one more.
Oh, there, okay.
Very good.
Now I'm gonna do the 3s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I only see 1.
Yep, me too.
The 4s, 1.
I only see 1.
The 5s, 1.
Only see 1.
And 6s also only have 1.
Yep.
So I did it Mrs. Walker's way. Was I able to do it Mrs. Walker's way?
Mm-hmm.
A little different from me, but it totally works, right?
Yep. So do what's best for you. And that's all we had to do, because all it wanted us to do was complete the line plot. So you answered all those questions right there and you're done.
Yep. It didn't ask us how many of each number, none of that. Okay, number 7 or number 8.
Darius measures each of his toy cars using centimeters. How many toy cars are 16 centimeters long? So in this case, they already made it for us. They have the title, which was toy cars. They had the length, which was different for us because it actually used centimeters this time. Okay, and they did put the X's. So all we have to do is how many toy cars are 16 centimeters long. So what do we have to do, Mrs. Croft?
Well, you just have to look, really, and see which one has the most. And if I look, it's easy, right? I noticed that 16 has 1, 2, 3, 4. That's definitely more than these 2. So the answer would be 4.
Very good. Awesome.
Pretty easy.
All right, now you're on your green pages.
Our green page numbers today are page 649 and 650. If you take a look, it's pretty much exactly what we did today. You're going to use that first example to answer number 1. You're going to just use words to explain what the X's are for, okay? And then number 2, you're going to use the data to fill in the line plot. And number 3, you're just going to explain how you knew where to put certain X's.
Yep.
Easy.
Lemon squeezy. Just make sure on your example that you do number 1, 2, and 3, because it's actually asking you to do some work.
Oh.
Okay, it's not showing you.
Okay.
All right, perfect.
All right. Well, we will see you next time. Have a good day.